Zombie apocalypse.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Eco Talks with Sneha Manerikar. In today's session, we'll discuss questions from topic research methodology. So let us start our session with first question. Mean, median and mode are A. Measure of deviation, B. Ways of sampling, C. Measures of control tendency, D. None of the above. Answer is none of the above, because mean, median, mode, these are measures of central tendency and not the control tendency. Now, measures of central tendency is a single value that attempts to describe the set of data by identifying the central position within the set of data. Such measures are also called as measure of central location. The mean, median, mode are the valid measures of central tendency, but under different conditions, the one of the methods will be more appropriate to use than the other methods. The next question is, research is A. Searching again and again, B. Finding solution to any problem, C. Working in scientific way to search for truth of any problem, D. None of the above. Answer is, research is working in a scientific way to search for truth of any problem. But research in common, this one we say it is as a search for knowledge. Research is also defined as scientific and systematic search for pertinent information on specific topic. Then, according to Slenger and Stephenson, they have defined research as the manipulation of things, concepts, or symbols for the purpose of generalizing to extend, correct, or verify knowledge, whether that knowledge aids in construction of theory or in practice of an art. This is the definition given by Slenger and Stephenson, that is social science in the social science research. So this definition is very important in point of view, because this is definition of research in terms of social science. Next question is, which of the following is the first step in starting the research process? A. Searching source of information to locate problem. B. Survey of related literature. C. Identification of problem. D. Searching for solution to the problem. The first and most important step in research process is identification of problem. Unless you identify the problem, you can't go for the further steps of research process. Then research process includes, this is the process chart. First one is define research problem. That is, we have to identify the research problem and we have to define it in a proper way. Then next step is review of literature. They review the concepts and theories and review the previous research findings. This is review the literature. Next is formulate hypothesis. We have to formulate null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Then design research, including sample design. Whatever your sample design, research tools, everything you should make a plan, that is design research. After this, you'll go for collection of data. Execution of whatever design research you have done, here you go for execution, the collection of data, analysis of data, and then interpret and then do the final report. This is the process of research. These are the steps followed in the research. Next question is, a common test in research demands much priority on A. Reliability, B. Usability, C. Objective, D. All of the above. Answer is all of the above. The common test, that is research, when one person does some research on some topic, it is expected that that research should be reliable, usable, and it should be done for a particular objective. Then next question is, action research means A. Longitudinal research, B. An applied research, C. A research initiated to solve an immediate problem, D. A research with socio-economic objective. Answer is action research. Action research is done to find a solution for an immediate problem. The next question is, a reasoning where we start with certain particular statements and conclude with the universal statement is called A. Deductive reasoning, B. Inductive reasoning, C. Abnormal reasoning. D. Transcendental reasoning. Answer is inductive reasoning. That is, we start with the particular and conclude with the universal. That is the inductive reasoning. There are two types of reasoning. One is deductive reasoning and another one is inductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning is from general principle we go to the special case or particular. General to particular is called deductive and particular to general is called as inductive. These are the two types of reasoning. Next question is, the essential qualities of researcher are A. Spirit of free inquiry. B. Reliance on observation and evidence. C. Systematization or theorizing of knowledge. D. All of the above. Then what should be the essential qualities of researcher? These all are the essential qualities of the researcher. That is, he should have spirit of free inquiry. He should should base his research on observation and evidence collected by him. Systematization of theorization of knowledge. Whatever knowledge he has to develop a theory based on the whatever observation or data he has collected. So here are the researcher qualities. That is, he should be knowledgeable, observant. He should be a good observer. He should have knowledge of logical. He should be open-minded, honest, motivated, independent, flexible, careful, curious, eager to learn, perceptive, persistent, patient, original, and creative. These are the various essential qualities a researcher is required so that it results in a good research. Next question is, in the process of conducting research, formulation of hypothesis is followed by A. Statement of objectives. B. Analysis of data. C. Selection of research tools. D. Collection of data. Answer is, after we formulate hypothesis, we go for selection of research tool. That is nothing but that we build our research design. So here are the steps in research work. First, we select the topic. Then we define the research problem. We set the objectives of the research. Then we go for review of literature. Then we formulate hypothesis. After hypothesis, preparing of research design. This research design includes whatever tools, research tools we are going to be using in the research. This will be explained herein while preparing the research design. Next is the sample design. That is, what is the sample you are taking, that will be defined here. Then data collection. That is execution of project. Whatever data collection you will be doing, there you will be executing your research design. Then data analysis and hypothesis testing. Whatever hypothesis you have formulated here, that will be tested after the collection of data. Then based on this analysis, we go for generalization and interpretation. And based on this, we at last we conclude our observation or conclusions about our research problem. So these are the steps in research process. Next question is, a research paper is a brief report of research work based on A. Primary data only. B. Secondary data only. C. Both primary and secondary data. D. None of the above. Answer is, a research paper is based on the both primary and secondary data. We cannot say that research paper is a brief report based only on primary data or only on secondary data. It is a combination of primary as well as secondary data. Now here is the difference between primary data and secondary data. Primary data is one which is collected by researcher himself, and secondary data is data collected by other persons. Primary data is original. This is not original because it is collected by some other. Either it is used by some other person or it is collected by some other person and used by the researcher. Now, sources of primary data are surveys, observation, experiments, whereas secondary data is internal records, government published data, journals, or whatever data which has been maintained by the government institutions or other institutions. These are all the secondary data. Then here more time consuming. Primary data collection is more time consuming. Here it is secondary data is less time because it is already collected. Just you have to collect from the agency. So this possibility of bias exists in case of primary data, whereas in secondary data somewhere bias is less. Primary data not precaution to be used, not necessary. precaution, but in secondary data we have to use the precaution, because sometimes data which we format which we need and data which is available in the secondary data source, that will be different. So we have to maintain the precaution while using the data. Then this one, primary data, we can, while collecting a primary data, the researcher, he will collect in the form he needs. But whereas in secondary data, suppose now if you are taking the export data, now sometimes it will be the value will be in terms of dollar, but you need it in terms of rupees. So again you have to change it to the, so you need to do some treatments in case of secondary data to make the data in form which you want. Next question is, questionnaire is A, research method, B, measurement technique, C, tool for data collection, D, data analysis technique. Answer is, it is the tool for data collection. So there are various tools for data collection. First one is by the observation. In this method, collection of information by way of own observation without interviewing the respondents. Just by mere observation, you will collect the data. Next is personal interview. The investigator or the researcher, he follows the rigid procedure and seeks answer to the preconceived questions through personal interviews. Then through telephone interviews, it is nothing but just asking the questions to the respondent via telephone. Then by mailing of questionnaire, the researcher and respondent do not come in contact with each other, but the questionnaire is mailed to the respondents with the request to return that after completing the same. Then through schedules, under this method, enumerators are appointed and given training. They are provided with schedules containing relevant questions. These enumerators go to the respondent with these schedules, and data is collected by filling the schedules on the basis of the replies given by the respondents. Then what is the difference between questionnaire and schedule? Questionnaire, it is generally sent through email or no further assistance from the sender, whereas schedule is generally filled by the researcher. Now here questionnaire is cheaper in method because there is no need to go for researcher to the particular respondent. But in case of schedule, the researcher has to go to the respondents, he should meet them and then he has to fill. So it is a bit costly. Non-response is high. Now here questionnaire, researcher, if he mails the questionnaire, he is not 100% sure that respondent will fill the question, send it back. Whereas in case of schedule, as the researcher, he personally meets the respondents, he will talk with him and he will feel the responses in the schedule. So non-response will be very low. You are 100% sure that you will get the response for your questions. Next, in case of questionnaire, identity of respondent is unknown. Whereas in case of schedule, you'll know the respondent as you are personally meeting him. Then this is a very slow method because you have to go for a follow back. That is, respondents should see the mail, they should fill the questionnaire and they should send back. So this is a slow method. Whereas in schedule, you go to respondent personally, you collect the data. So it is not time consuming. This process is fast. No personal contact in case of questionnaire, whereas there is direct personal contact in case of schedule. That's all about today's session. If you have any doubts, you can message me or in comment section. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.